Hello there, everybody. I am the Chall, and we are live for Chall-Mas Eve 2022. So this is an idea that I had for about 12 months now. So I was going to do this on every Christmas Eve at some point, every Christmas Eve, every year, starting this year. So it's a big live stream. Gonna get you guys on to talk about anything, get some fun stuff going on, maybe get some stuff in the polls and the chats, things like that. So we've got some big plans to come up tonight. It's going to be like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours if we're really pushing it. So yes, I am live right now for Chall-Mas Eve 2022. Got some music looping in the background, so I'm really happy about that. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. Like I said, it's Christmas Eve. It's great to really go live and be with the YouTube family and really celebrate Christmas before I spend tomorrow with the family. So this is kind of like the first of two Christmases technically, because the first Christmas obviously is Christmas Eve where I get to spend it with you lot, and then obviously the main Christmas day spending it with family tomorrow. So I do have some content planned for the end of the month and the new year. Obviously, we've got the big January recruitment video from the sports side of things. We've got hopefully a Christmas unboxing video. I might try and get that done at some point before the end of the month. We also have other theme park news updates coming. We've got some other big projects in the works. It's going to be a huge year in 2023. Loads of plans going into it. But to start off then, guys, I will put the StreamYard link in the chat. I don't know why it keeps flashing. I don't know if it does it on your screen, but it keeps flashing for me. But yeah, I'm going to put the StreamYard link in the chat so you guys can pop on. But if you guys would like to have, if you've got any questions or anything like that, then do not be afraid and hesitate to ask. I will also operate the moderation of the chat using the device, so I'll keep an eye on everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin that StreamYard link to the top of the chat. But then I'm going to do some nice fun stuff for you guys. So there'll be some good stuff coming up. So stay tuned for that. Right. So if you are new to the stream or anything like that, hello. If you do have any questions, then please do say it. Let's turn the music down a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Like I said, it's the first of these sort of Chall-Mas Eves with this, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to going live today. I was really looking forward to going live, to be fair. I'm excited to see what it's going to be. Dill, my guy Dill Shaw from the vlogs. Good to see you, Dylan. Merry Christmas. Yeah, so this live stream is just going to be for all of you. This is going to be your live stream, not just mine. It's going to be yours. It's going to be ours. This is going to be our stream because it's about all of us. It's about me. It's about you. It's about everyone. So can we hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of this stream? It's a bit of a push for an hour and a half stream, but I reckon with the right amount of pushing power, I reckon we could do it. Obviously, I'll be answering your questions throughout the stream. They'll all be answered as per usual. And this is going to be really nice. This is going to be a really nice, day to day. It's going to be a really nice evening. And I've not really done one of these live streams in a while. So it's going to be a really nice opportunity to go live for the first time in ages. And of course, the live streams, quality of the content and the live streams will keep improving, as time flies by. First of all, I got my hair cut a little bit. I got the back and sides done, and then just got it like spiky on top. So I look a bit like Johnny Test or Meet the Robinsons. But no, guys, if you've got any questions or anything like that, then please do put them in the chat. You can hear a bit of music in the background, as per usual. Nice little banner there. You gotta love it. I like the design of these banners, to be fair. We've got a lot more people coming in now, which is perfect. Welcome to Chall-Mas Eve 2022. This will become an annual thing. The thumbnails will keep getting better and better as well. But yeah, so these streams are going to be your stream. If you've got any questions or anything like that, then please drop them in the chat section. If you want to super chat your questions, then again, do drop a super chat in there as well. We love your super chats coming through. I do have some huge projects in the works for next year. This 2020, you don't understand, 2023 is going to be a huge year. I've spent months planning these videos. I've spent weeks and months planning the type of things I'm going to do for next year, the type of big projects I'm going to do for next year. Because it ain't just about sports and theme parks. It's about, interesting, intriguing, and entertaining videos. So I hope you're really excited about the content that we're going to produce. Now, something I haven't done a video on yet, which I'm sure many of you are wondering why I didn't do a video on this, was the Chall-Mas. Yeah, the Chall-Mas. What a time that was. What an actual time that was. Yeah. I you know what, that was a nice time. That was a nice time. That was a really fun tournament to watch. Let's bring a guest on now. He's from the vlogs. Dylan.
Hello, Chal.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, mate. How are you?
I am not too bad.
Yeah.
It's been a very busy time. I know there's not been a lot of Rovers games to experience, but it's been a really busy time. But I'm glad to find the time to sort of do this now.
Yeah, buzzing for Monday, like.
Oh, it's gonna be wicked. I'm not in work till Tuesday, so I've got all the time in the world to just focus on getting boxing over and done with. Obviously, the injury to Olowu and Faulkner's not amazing news, but and then Rovers just had to just shove it in our faces, didn't they, when they put that clip of Jacob Ramsey's double against Chall-Mas last time we played them? Just what was the better times to be in compared to now?
Yeah, agreed.
It's just a kick in the teeth from where we were. But what do you think you're going to get this Christmas, Dan?
What do I think I'm going to get?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. I don't need out. I don't want out. You know what I mean?
You're not bothered?
Literally, I've got everything that I need.
That's
I could do with another Xbox controller because I'll end up smashing this in next few days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
What you asked for, Chal?
I don't know yet, to be honest. To be honest with you, this is probably the first year I've got absolutely no idea what I'm going to get.
Yeah, man. That's Rovers.
I've got myself a keyring. I've got myself a Rovers keyring for my my new keys for my new door.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
So that's something. We've got some stuff sorted before Christmas, which is nice. But apart from that, I really don't have a clue. I really don't.
Yeah. What do you think of Clayton saying we should only be playing for 70 minutes?
I did have a look at that article on the thing. I think what people might call me, clutching at straws here. He did say before that we usually just perform better in the last 20 minutes. So I think he's trying to say, let's perform in the first 70 minutes, then add on the 20. Like I think he must have said to add on the 20 minutes that we've already been playing as, but didn't actually say it. If you get what I mean, I might be clutching at straws, but I did think it was a bit out of place because he did say it on a completely different question to the bit about the last 20.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Maybe you should have said 90, but I can get where he's coming from if you put the sort of two questions together.
Do you think we'll win?
I mean, we've not lost at Chall-Mas ground since 2007, I think it said. So, I mean, I think we could do it, but again, Chall-Mas haven't won in 8 league games, I think it is. But I'm not treating any team for granted because I know what we can turn up as.
Yeah, like Colchester.
Yeah, and Kings Lynn.
Who's their manager, Mickey Mellon?
Mickey Mellon, who was once upon a time was, I think, rumoured at one point to be Darren Moore's replacement for the following season. I remember doing a video on that. Here's the genius. The genius has entered the building, whoever he or they are.
Chall-Mas.
Yeah, I literally, before you came out, I was just talking about that. I was creasing the entire way through with laughter. Like, that was probably one of the most fun things I've ever just sat back and watched unravel on Twitter and how big it got.
Gandhi got robbed, didn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, I thought me and that badge to you was probably going to be a dark horse throughout the whole contest, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was between that and Sean Dyche for me. I thought that either of those two were going to win anyway. So, I mean, to be fair, if I had more time, I was going to film a clip and send it to him for me to announce the winner. If I had more time, bit of an exclusive, but I just didn't have enough time on my hands because I've got so much going on right now in terms of planning new videos for next year. It is honestly, mate, it's ridiculous how much planning that's gone into next year. You know, there's videos that are going to be going on in a few months' time that I've already started planning for now. It's the quality of the content's going to be massively upgraded next year. Massively.
What about starting an OnlyFans?
I don't think people would pay anything, let alone £5 a month. Chal was Gandhi robbed in the Challenger. To an extent, yes. To an extent. But no, guys. So make sure you do super chat your questions. We'd love those super chat donations for Christmas. If you don't want to super chat, that's fine. Just put your questions in the chat. The email link is pinned at the top of the chat as well. We'll do some polls, a bit of an out of context type thing throughout the night. So yeah, you've got everything there ready for your evening. But Dylan, since we are at the halfway point, obviously this channel's sports, it's theme parks, it's reaction content, it's everything. It's pretty much everything now. But talking from a sports point of view, before we welcome some theme park guests in, of course, like I said, if any theme park channels are watching them, don't be afraid to hit the StreamYard link. Since we're talking about Donny Rovers, let's just touch on that a little bit more. Since we're halfway through the season, obviously we've gone through, this is our second manager this season. We still need to go through our first window with the new guy. How do you look on the season? Do you think we are where we need to be or where we deserve to be in terms of our performances?
No. To be fair, we're formed under McCheffrey and that. Really, we should be lower in league. So, Obviously the expectations from the start should be a lot higher. But the expectations now is like we're getting playoffs, then that's fair enough because we don't deserve out anymore. We've been absolutely awful. Players stop trying every now and then, especially Sean Williams. You know, I don't know if it's behind the scenes that are affecting it. Players can come out and be like, yeah, we're all fully focused on that. But I was going
to say there's a lot that's been like touched on behind the scenes. Like there's a lot that's been either revealed or leaked almost.
Every month there's a new player. Like Bostock signs for Thing straight away. It's at Rovers about the ownership and the state stability at club and all that. So
when did Bostock say that?
Huh?
When did Bostock say that?
In his interview with Notts County.
Wait, what did he say again?
He said something about the stability of Rovers, something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And then we got that winding up petition that ended up being, obviously, it was a false one by HMRC, but it shows you what could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there's been no money invested for a few years now. It's all been free agents and loans. So it's very rarely we get a player in for a transfer fee. Adam Long, I think, it started all right under Schofield. Apart from that, there's been no special. You know, it's just cheap options, awful options. We need experience, and we just don't get that.
Yeah, January is going to be a big month. I reckon 2023 could be a big year for Rovers in one of two ways. It's either going to be a much better situation for Rovers or a much worse situation. I don't know which way it's going to go next year. I've just got this gut feeling about 2023 or 2024 being a year to either forget or remember for Rovers for many different reasons. Exploring with Callum, Man Like Rovers Bibles in the chat. Give us some info on Flip Out, because I don't flip and know what I'm doing. Right, I think I know what this might mean. It's because I promoted the memberships for Flip Out on my newest video, which is out right now, guys. So please go and check it out. Spending £100 on a Christmas day trip in 24 hours. It was a huge video. It took about 2-3 weeks to make. So massive shout out to everyone involved in that.
I'm red off me, Chal.
All right, mate, no worries. I'll probably catch you on Boxing Day.
Yeah, mate, fan cam's coming back.
Hopefully, yeah. Fingers crossed.
Right, I'll see you later, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. Take care. Man like Dilshaw there. But yeah, I said in the video about promoting Flip Out about the memberships, £9.50 a month. When is the January transfer vid coming out? It is coming out on the 1st of January. It'll be a New Year video, so stay tuned for that one because I'm really excited about that one. I got some names over from a couple of journalists, and I've also done my own research. I've got in contact with a couple of other analytics people, and they've all sent me their names, and I've sort of compiled a final list. And I'm still debating how to do it at the minute. I'm still debating whether to do it as just every single position and do names for each position and do names for every single position and do individual videos, or one huge video, or do it as just priority positions, pick 3 priority positions, then like a top 5 in each position kind of thing. I'm still debating how to do it at the minute. Why don't you do a Doncaster Rovers documentary? That's something that is in the works. I have been planning on doing that for a little while, and I am starting to make the plans and the storyboard of how I'm going to do that. I've had a massive few weeks because I've been going through a few proposals and a few sort of meetings with some people to discuss many different things, and there's some really exciting stuff in the works for next year. I really can't wait to share you all. Is there only rumours at the moment, players-wise? To be honest with you, mate, there's not even any links or any player rumours or anything like that. There's nothing about Rovers at the minute. There's literally nothing. And to be fair, when you see clubs like Fleetwood getting 1, maybe 2 players from the Irish Premiership already sorted, and when you see Bradford get a player sorted as well before the window even opens, it worries me a little bit. Obviously not a lot because, you know, everyone else will be starting their business at the start of the window, obviously. But I'm not too worried because the Schofield's come out and said that they're beginning to get their targets in. Well, not beginning, but they're getting their targets identified, and they're at that stage where we're about to get their targets identified. So, in my opinion, that should have already been done by the end of this week. But obviously, we can't really blame them too much. This is first window, so just give the man time. What's it like working at Flip Out? Colin, mate, you work there as well. But in all seriousness, no, it's fantastic to work there. Really great to work there. Do you think Dan Pybus will join, or was that fake news? It wasn't fake news at all. That was agent-led rather than club-led. I know that for a fact. I spoke to a couple of journalists and they said the same. So Dan Pybus was agent-led rather than club-led, because of course before the general window starts, agents are going to find stuff for their players. You know, and the story was that Orient Crew and us were in for him. Whether we were the clubs positively identified as the main favourites is still anyone's guess at the minute, but it was an agent-led thing rather than a club-led thing at the time. Whether it still is that situation or not, I don't know. Bro, I was messing. I thought you didn't know who I was. No, I knew who you was, mate. But yes, like I said, I'm going to stay live for sort of an hour and a half. So if you've got any questions, super chat your questions, put them in the comment section. StreamYard links at the top of the chat. So if you want to pop on for a chat, then please do. Can I have a birthday announcement for Mike? Nice try. I'm going to put a word out on my other channel as well. The channel that I no longer use. I know it's weird not using the other channel, unfortunately, but it's just one of them. It's one of them. For me personally, I think it's nice putting it all on one channel now. It is nice because I think it's great to, keep promoting the content. Promoting the content from the now old channel onto the new one is like really nice, and I think that it's a great way to bring the audience over from each channel, if you know what I mean. So I will just put out a word out on the Coast to Chal channel, get some people over. Chall-Mas Eve 2022 live now. Brill. Loving the new look, says the scientist. Brilliant. Found out about you from Chal and Dior. You're goated, not going to lie. Thank you very much, Reese. Much appreciated. Yep, so I've just posted on the Coast Chal channel that the Chal and Dior is live. So not Chal and Dior, that finished yesterday. It's Chall-Mas Eve 2022. But we're going to get some polls up. So I'm going to put a poll in the chat. I want to get some voting going on. Get your friends over. If you know people from the Chal and Dior and people like that, bring them over. We are all open. We all are live. Nice. But yeah, so I'm going to get a poll going in the chat. And I'm probably going to have to do it off the this one. If my face starts flashing, then I do apologize. I don't know why it is. Let's start a poll. Fairly simple one. Let's get the theme park chat going now. We've talked enough about Rovers for now. Nemesis or Nemesis Inferno. Let's put that poll in now and let's see what that does. Super Chal, of course. You know. Let's get some voting going on. Let's get some voting going on. Come on. But yeah, so if you got your questions, guys, put them in the chat. If you got your comments, put them in the chat. If you want to super chat your questions, then please do. Don't forget, I do have some channel news that I hopefully should be launching soon. Fingers crossed. I am just still trying to sort out the final details of that. Because there's a few things that I do want to do. What happened with Sheffield City? My decision to leave just wasn't really working out, but I've got nothing but good memories there in the month that I was there, and I've got nothing against anyone there. But I'm focused on me, focused on my content, focused on you guys, my audience, and it's the community. It's a community, and I'm focused on building the community, building the Chal Nation. Bring on the Chal Nation. Out of context, going to be all over this now, isn't he? Up the Chal Nation. To be fair, out of context, Chal, if you're still watching this, turn your camera off, come on, and just use your audio, and we'll try and get like a conversation going. That'd be an internet breaker. But yeah. Right. Let's get your questions in, guys. Come on. Let's get some more people in. Hope you like the music, by the way. Very thought. Like I say, it's nice to do these sort of Eve streams. Like I said, I've not done one for a while, so I wasn't expecting this one to blow up massively. But oh, the eyes emojis from out of context, which means something's happening. Do you think we should add more wingers as Hurst hasn't been playing well enough? To be honest with you, mate, I believe Hurst needs another chat. Hurst is still 20. I think we should be adding at least one, maybe two in the January window, but that's just me personally. I mean, that's a giveaway as to one of the positions I'll probably prioritize in the video. But yeah, I would say a winger is one of the priorities in the window in January. But I have put the poll up, so please do give a vote. Nemesis or Nemesis Inferno. Speaking of Nemesis, huge project news. I can't reveal too much about it now because the project, fingers crossed, should be happening in 2-3 years time. But this, I'm planning it now, or starting to plan it now, because it's a huge thing that I want to do. But yeah, I can't say too much about it now, but Nemesis and a huge project in 2-3 years time. So stay tuned for that one because I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, some big ideas that are going to be coming up. Trust me, some big ideas. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a wonderful year for the channel next year. I will hopefully, fingers crossed, on the 2nd of January. So we're going to have the 1st of January, which is going to be to be fair, I might do the January video on New Year's Eve, and then on New Year's Day put the promotional video on, because what I'm planning is a promotional video, just to sort of give a bit of an introduction to the channel. For those of you who are new around here, do a bit of a teaser as to what's coming up, the kind of videos that we're going to be doing, the kind of trips that we might be going on next year, which there's some big plans in the works, so stay tuned for that one. And some ideas as well, because, like I said, there's some big stuff that I'm planning next year, and I want to take all of you guys on for the journey with me. And there's some, I won't lie to you guys, there's some big ideas as a content creator and as an influencer. There's some big ideas that I want to do 5-10 years down the line, which is going to require a lot more grafting, working, earning every minute, which I keep doing at the minute. And I'm going to keep earning every minute, keep grafting every day to achieve those ideas in 5-10 years' time. The ideas that's coming up next year are just going to be equally as big, equally as brilliant. So, which centre-back should we keep? Oluwu, Anderson, or Roshaw Williams? Roshaw Williams. I would probably keep... You know what? I could make a case to get rid of all three of them. And I know before you start, Oluwu, why would you get rid of Oluwu? I think he's just had a very injury-hit season, and I think he maybe just needs somewhere else to get regular first-team football, and that would be a way to bring in a new defensive line to work the way Schofield wants to play, even though Oluwu can do it. Anderson, I'd recommend him to stay, but to be fair, I don't know how long he'll have left. Here, unless he wants to leave at the summer. Williams, it's hard for him because he can do some good stuff, but when he makes mistakes like they did at Walsall, it's unforgivable mistakes. But yeah, I can make a case for all three of them. But like I said, let's go back to the poll. Actually, I wonder who's winning the poll. Oh, so at the minute it's 60% to Inferno. So we're going to keep that poll running until the end of the stream. Yo, Mr. Mike Green. But yeah, overall, then, like I said, it's going to be a big year on the channel next year. Big ideas coming up. And I'm really looking forward to sharing with you all some of the ideas that we've got. We've got some huge projects in the works with different theme parks. We've got different projects coming up with sports stars, stars in general. We've got certain venues that we're hoping to collaborate with and build projects with. Let's bring Mike on then, who's a Newport fan. Mike, how are you?
Hello, I can't get my camera at the moment because I'm getting all Christmas stuff sorted, but saw you was live, saw the stream you had Link was in, and thought I'll jump in and have a nag, basically.
Nah, fair play, mate. Who is the best player in each position for us? That's a whole video in itself, mate. I'll probably release that in the new year. Excited for the new content, says Kieran Adams. Shout out Kieran Adams, because him, Jack Silkstone, Arch Nemesis, all of them are doing really good work this year. Hopefully see you guys at Blackpool again next year. I'll be there for the opening day, fingers crossed, again next year. And yeah, I'm really excited, Kieran, mate. I really am, because I've never felt more confident in what I'm doing on YouTube than I have been for next year. So it's going to be mental. It's going to be a mental year, and I hope to see you guys, see you, Jack, Archie, all the lads down there, Eddie. Hope to see you all down there next season at the majority of the theme parks, and yeah, really get you guys involved in the content next year, because it's going to be absolutely mental. But Mike, since you are a Newport fan, how did you reflect on us beating you 1-0 about 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, exactly 2 weeks today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought, to be fair, Doncaster should have scored a lot more than one. I think the chances they had in the first half, I think you'd be expecting at least one or two of them to be going in. You were just peppering the goal. Defensively, we looked absolutely abysmal all over the place. I saw 2 or 3 times. I know, obviously, people will say, sometimes it can happen in a defensive setup, but some of our players were walking, and I just don't. That just sends the wrong mentality when you see the players that you're supporting week in, week out, going up and down, up and down the country, and you just see them walk around. It's like, we're here spending, our hard-earned cash, watching you week in, week out, just for you to walk around. That's what really annoyed me, and I think it annoyed a lot of people that I was stood by. But in terms of Doncaster, I think you would be more annoyed that he didn't score more than one than we were of losing, because you were absolutely 10 times better than us in midfield. Your defence was just solid. We didn't really have a sniff. And up front, I still think your striking options are very thin. I don't know if you Doncaster fans agree with me, but I think I'm looking at that front line, and if there was someone a little, I know you've got George Miller, but if there was someone a little bit more potent in the final third, you would be looking at a top 3 team straight away. You've got players like Rowe, you've got players like, players that can do this. And even at the back, you've got a very, very good squad. I just think you need that striker. I don't know if that's where you think you need to strengthen, but just lacking that bit of that bite, that shithousery sort of thing as a striker. We had it with Kevin Ellison, where you could just chuck him on. Last 5 minutes, he'll rough and tough the centre-backs up. He will annoy them. I just think your strikers are a bit too nice, if that makes sense. I know it sounds weird, but we got told by Michael Flynn a few seasons ago that he does try and not cheat, but he does try and get his strikers to sort of push the centre back over first 2 minutes into the game, get them sort of rattled, and I just don't think you've got that type of striker. But look, you're winning games, you're scoring goals, so that's pretty much all that matters in a striker, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair on your point, I think Andrews goes back to is already back in Birmingham anyway, but I don't think we're going to continue his loan past January, so he'll be gone anyway. Agard's here until the end of the season. I don't know if we're renewing his contract yet. Waltman's here till the end of the season on loan, unless Liverpool decide to recall him, which has been talked about. So that leaves just Miller and Rio Griffiths, who, I mean, I heard talk through the press that Rio Griffiths could be an option for a loan out in January, but I don't know how true that will be. I don't know if that will end up happening, but that leaves only one or two strikers. So I would probably look at striker as a potential option for development. I think most of us Rovers fans have been looking at the wings and the centre of midfield, to be brutally honest. And I know some Rovers fans have said centre-backs as well. Because, to be fair, Williams had a better game in the Newport one, but that's because Walsall was poor. Olawu's out for another 6 weeks and just come back. Bobby Faulkner out on loan, who was one of our stand breakthrough talents under McSheffrey, is now gone out on loan to Worksop and got himself injured. So he's out with a broken. Well, it was a fractured jaw. We thought it was broken at first, but it was a fractured.
I think Roshon Williams was the best player on the pitch 2 weeks ago,
which is weird because against Walsall, he was responsible for both. He was partly responsible for both of the goals. He was responsible for at least one of the goals.
I think in my match vlog, I think I said that I'd give him man of the match. Obviously, the Newport announcer obviously has to give a Newport player man of the match, as we always do, of course, for Newport's man of the match. But in terms of the game, yeah, Roshon Williams was commanding at the back. He was stepping up when the other centre backs looked like they were dropping back. And I know, obviously, because I saw your content around the Walsall game, that he wasn't too happy about Roshon Williams, but he looked like a completely different player to the Roshon Williams performance against Walsall to the one against us. Whether we were just shit, sorry for swearing, but whether we were just crap and he looked good, because I know Walsall are a very astute team. You've got to beat what's in front of you, haven't you? But yeah, I think we may have made him look a little bit better than what he was potentially with your comments towards him.
No, I think that's fair. I've got Charlie in the studio as well. Charlie, how are you? Charlie?
Hello.
How are you?
Good, you?
Yeah. Are you a Rovers fan?
Yeah.
Nice. Predictions then for Tranmere on Boxing Day?
I'd like to say win, but we are pretty bad most weeks, aren't we?
Well, 3 defeats and 3 wins is a mixed start for Danny Schofield, but he does need at least 2 or 3 transfer windows to get what he can out of that squad.
But I think McSheffrey is. I know he didn't end very well, but he's had a better start than Danny Schofield has. Really, I'm not sure.
The thing with McSheffrey was, though, it was the performances and the type of performance we were putting in, and it wasn't the style of play that the board wanted, so that was the reason why we got rid of him.
But with me, I don't know if I think Danny Schofield's the right man, and he's obviously doing pretty well for himself, but I don't know if he's going to be the right man to take us forward.
Okay, I respect your opinion. Who would you have brought in as manager instead, then? If you didn't think Danny Schofield was the right man, who would you have brought in, realistically?
The Barrow manager, potentially.
World.
Would he have left Barrow?
No.
What's the Newport manager's name? Graham.
We ain't having Graham Cockley, mate. He's quality.
Yeah, we should have got him.
You'd have him, mate. He's brilliant.
I think there were talks of us having him at one point, but I don't know if those talks died a death or he just chose Newport instead or what.
Knowing us, he probably chose Newport instead.
I think he chose us because we have had a history of quite a few good Irish staff members and players. Padraig Amond, Mark O'Brien with obviously that goal. To be fair, I think we've only had a couple of tastes of Irish in the last few years, and that was Kieran Sadlier, who's now at Bolton, Shane Blaney, who's now at Motherwell, signed from Sligo Rovers in January, surprise, and Cody Pryor, who I don't know what he's doing at the minute, but that was the only taste of Irish we had in a few years, so I think Often would have been a wild one. But do you think the manager's going to get backed in the window? And if he doesn't get backed, is that the last straw for a lot of fans? Well, not for a lot of fans, because I think a lot of fans have turned already. But would that be the last straw for the remainder of the fan base with the board?
Well, I've only been going to watch Dynamo for 5 or 6 years, and we've not really had a good season since. I've not really seen us have a good season with the current board we've had. So if he doesn't back Schofield, I think playoffs is just out of our reach, really. But if he backs him, it'll prove if Schofield's good enough.
Yeah.
I think the way to tell a manager is good, though, is see what they could do without being backed. Like, Michael Flynn got us to 2 playoff finals with barely any backing. And, sometimes that can tell whether a manager is good or not. The old debate of could Pep Guardiola do it at Burnley or could Dyche do it at Man City? It's just a theory that you'll never know the answer of. But one thing that you can say is in the lower leagues, you don't have much budget. Even, the wealthy teams in the leagues don't have the biggest of budget and they still manage to get success. So, maybe, obviously, Doncaster need to get back because that squad is thin. But, not thin, but thin in terms of a promotion push. But yeah, you can see what a manager's made of with minimal backing because, you'll get the rumours if he gets back loads and fails. We're like, see, we threw money at it and it still didn't work. You've got to just find the right mix of what's in the squad right now. Pinpoint the players in the squad that want to push you forward, like Miller, like Rowe, and then build a foundation around that because they're the stalwarts in the team.
I think in January, I do think we need to go get wingers because I think they are our weakest position on the pitch. And maybe another box-to-box sort of midfielder.
Yeah, I'd be looking for a box-to-box, someone who can cover a lot of ground, a pacey, technical winger, who can cut inside, utilise that ability. I'd maybe look for an inside forward rather than a winger, just because it feels like if you're going to go 3-4-3, I think Schofield will more than likely go with 2 inside forwards, either side of the striker. So I reckon it is a case of maybe looking for more of an inside forward, maybe.
Do you think Molyneux's good enough?
I think he's shown what he can do. I think I would give him. I wouldn't judge him on the end of this season because it is just his first season with the club. I would probably judge him 2-3 seasons into it.
There's a player in Luke Molyneux, as we saw last season. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
It's 2 different systems, though, isn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
What you've also got is one team that realistically on paper should be, trying to stay above the drop, and then the other team realistically should be in the top 7. So both teams in different ambitions are going to play different style of football. The team that need or want to stay in the league are going to be more resolute at the back and less intent on going forward. And then the team pushing for promotion are looking to have 60-70% of the ball. So difficult one to judge.
But at Hartlepool, Molyneux was star man. At Donny, he's not that. So maybe he's just not used to having the pressure lifted off of him.
To be fair, it has happened in the past, though, where players have left Donny and end up doing better at the clubs that they've gone to.
Herbie Kane, Malik Wilkes.
Jacob Ramsey.
Yeah.
Malik Wilkes, what a player, man. What a player.
Yeah, Wilkes a great player. Jacob Ramsey's always going to be the low need that we never got to see more of. He'll always be that. We only got 2 months out of him before COVID struck, so...
that's gutting. We've had a couple of corkers. Scott Twine, Ben White, Antoine Semenyo was a World Cup player now. I can say that.
Yeah.
What a man.
Yeah, Jacob Ramsey will always be the one. We had him for 2 months, and then COVID struck that season. We ended up finishing 8th on a points per game basis, and we never got to see him again because he ended up featuring for first team straight after that. So, that's my only wish, that we got to see more of Jacob Ramsey.
Yeah, because I think when Project Restart came in, I think he was starting for Villa, on that first game back, wasn't he? I believe against Sheffield United. When if the technology worked, Villa would have been relegated that season.
And Sheffield United would probably be in Europe as well.
Yeah. Stupid that. Sorry, Charlie.
I still can't believe that. I still can't.
Do you think Gillingham, they could be because they've been pretty shit they've been pretty poor this season.
They've got their takeover, though. They've just announced their takeover yesterday, which I think is a wonderful thing for the club and the fans, because they need it, they deserve it.
But ultimately, this poor start to season can't a takeover can't just magically come in and change your whole season. So, do you think there is still an opportunity for relegation?
When we played them, they were absolutely, I won't swear, but they were ridiculously bad.
They made us look good.
I think we've still got to go away to them before the end of the season as well. So we've
got them on the final away game of the season.
Oh wow! I mean, we faced them at home. We beat them 1-0. I wasn't there on that day, but I did watch it back, and it did feel like we were better second half than we were first half, and we got the 1-0 win out. It'd been our game
to lose.
The what, sir?
It'd been our game to lose.
Yeah, we
took the foot off the gas after 55 minutes, which was really poor from a Gillingham point of view. We were literally just laying every pass that we made against them because it was basically like your apps. Another team that have been awful this season that we've seen them twice in like 2 weeks was Colchester. Oh my lord!
They battered us 3-0.
Yeah,
we went into it thinking we were going to batter them, but we didn't.
We beat them in the league. And then we had them in the FA Cup. Was it first round draw a week later or 2 weeks later. So, and we beat them in both games 2-0 at home, and they were absolutely awful. But no, because I just think that Colchester side is so aging with the amount of former Ipswich players they got: Skew, Sears, Chambers. Noel Chilvers. Well, he's not old, but Noel Chilvers is a bit of a Ipswich reject, but they have a senior affiliate, don't they, Colchester with Ipswich.
Have you played Hartlepool this season?
Have we played Hartlepool?
Yeah.
We was meant to play them on last week, but it got postponed. I can't remember if we played them before. I think we have played them at Rodney Parade. I will. Is it?
I went away there. I don't know if you went, Chal, or not, but
Hartlepool away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was rescheduled because of the passing of Her Majesty the Queen. They were so bad. I didn't end up going on the rescheduling. I ended up refunding it.
Oh, I was so lucky because. Oh, sorry. Go on, Charlie. Sorry.
On the ball, Hartlepool They just played long ball, and just Roshan Williams just couldn't deal with it.
I remember watching it back on the iPhone, and I remember seeing it was struggling with the long balls.
Because when the game we had cancelled because of Her Majesty's passing was Swindon, so when that got rearranged, it was like, don't worry, it's still only 45 minutes down the road. It was beautiful. But then I think because we sold 1,200 to Swindon away, obviously in thinking it was a Saturday kickoff, and I think we only to the Tuesday. I think we only took like 700. A lot of people just didn't go. You know, maybe work reasons. We literally always take 1,000 to Swindon because it's literally the closest. And last season was a bloody piss take because Exeter got promoted. Who was the other one? Exeter, Bristol Rovers, and Forest Green, all local games, and they all got bloody promoted.
Oh god!
Because then Swindon went to as well.
Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, go on.
Do you think Bradford will get promoted? Because they've chucked so much money at it this season, so you'd think they would, but it's just.
I bloody hope so. I predicted them to win the league on my video.
I've got a feeling, and I don't know about you guys, but the top three as it is right now. I mean, I don't think position-wise it'll be the same, but I think the teams in the top three right now, Orient, Stevenage, and Northampton, will be the top three by the end of the year. And
I'll tell you what, I was very shocked, and if someone was to say who was you shocked at the current top three, everyone would go, Stevenage. But I was shocked with how well Orient have come out the blocks.
I'm not because Richie Wellens has come from a club that's not backed him properly, and
I get that. I get the manager, but you've look at all the problems they've had off the pitch in the last 5 to 10 years, and they just look like they did look like a dismantled club with the state of the owners, and I just didn't ever see a real surge from them. But like you said, yeah, I agree with you. Hit the nail on the head. Richie Wellens is.
I think what happened.
But he's also a good manager.
I think what happened is what happens to us usually. Someone leaves us and goes and does somewhere better, either in the same league or the league above.
Do you think it's something to do with board?
I can't stand him.
Why that
Who else,
happens?
Charlie?
Do you think it's like because of the board? Why, like with Bostock and Wellens, that they all looked happy when they was about, but they've left and now they've said, "Oh, we was really poorly run and stuff."
I would look at. I mean, Bostock left because he didn't want to play League Two football. A few months later, he goes to Notts County. I would look on that situation and say, right, he didn't get a League Two club, he didn't get a League One club, so he's had to drop his expectations. He was training with Nottingham Forest for a bit. He had to drop his expectations. I would look at that as just time passing by because a lot can change in a few months. Wellens, I think he's gone to a club that could work with him, and they're in a really good situation. But I think I would say we've been on the edge in terms of our stability. I think I don't think we've been anywhere near like going into administration at all. But I don't think we were ever the richest club in the world.
Would you say you've got unlucky with the players that have, or the management or staff that have, fallen along the wayside and then been picked up, unearthed, basically?
I think ever since COVID's come in, I think that we've spent a lot of time focusing on short term and just keeping the club afloat, where we haven't really thought about ambition at that time. But to be fair, even before then, I think keeping Paul Dickov as manager for longer than he was a mistake. I feel we should have replaced him a lot sooner. Not giving Fergie everything that he wanted. Obviously, that came out in the press recently. Basically, Fergie got us promoted back from League Two to League One. He wanted the finished article. The board gave him half the finished article, and they said, do what you want with the rest of it. And they end up walking away after the end of the season after a mid-table finish. So I think the bricks of negativity were there at times before COVID hit, but I think it's only
just that's on the board then. That's not on.
No. I think it's only just coming to light now exactly what this club's been up to at times, and I think we've not had a proper football person lead the way, and I think that's just coming to the forefront now.
I think Grant McCann leaving has been possibly one of the worst things because
that was the start of the big downward spiral. I think
because he let all of our best players go, like Marquis, Andrew, just all of the best players.
Yeah, I think we had a downward spiral when we went out of the Championship and then into League Two in the space of about 5 years. But then I think after McCann left and all those people left for free, we had to rebuild under Moore, then rebuild 2 years later under Wellens, and then a year later under McSheffrey, and then now having to rebuild again. I think McCann's exit signalled the downward spiral. I think that's what it signalled. I think that's the big downward spiral that could put us in more danger than we were in 2016.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of talk of, well, we don't deserve to be in League Two and we don't deserve to not be promoted and things like that. And unfortunately, we do deserve to be there because we haven't been good enough to earn the right to be in the league above or be in the Championship.
I feel the opposite for us. I feel as though in the last 5 years we have done enough to be in League One with the 2 playoff finals that we've been fucked over in, basically. Let's not cover this crap up. We've been screwed over by refereeing decisions, and I just want to stab at League One now. This league is diabolical. Some of the teams, some of the performances you can come across, like I'm not even being biased. We've been at the top of the league for the top half pretty much every season for the last 5 or 6, and the teams at the bottom, Jesus, some of the performances, like Scunthorpe that season, they went down the COVID season. Like, Jesus.
You know what? I'll give Scunthorpe the dues. They're one of our rivals, but as soon as I saw that their staff and that weren't getting paid, I felt sorry for our rivals. I was like, if that happened to
Rotherham, going down again, isn't they? They're like bottom of the National League.
Well, if that happens,
they got battered 4-1 by Oldham the other day.
They did,
and
if that happened to Rotherham, let's put all the rivalry aside with Rotherham, and trust me, we've got a fierce rivalry with Rotherham. Charlie, you know about the rivalry with Rotherham. I know about the Rotherham rivalry. You know the stuff I've said on camera about Rotherham.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Put the rivalry aside with Rotherham. If that happened to Rotherham, where they were plummeting down the leagues, all their staff and players weren't getting paid, they were protesting for their owner to go, and he wasn't leaving until he got a certain sum of money, I would feel sorry for them. And that's
sorry, if that was Cardiff, let them die. Sorry. let the team die.
It might just be me being sportsmanlike, but I just don't like this message that's getting. Because I've seen when I think it was where I can't remember when it was, but I think it was when a club was about to go out of business.
Bury.
It was Bury, and then you've got media people, Jim White, and that with a countdown clock like it's deadline day, and it's like, how inconsolable can you be to a club that's about to go out of business?
That's so bad. There was a countdown for it.
Like AFTV called it out on their because they went on Talk Sport and they ended up calling it out because Talk Sport were having to go at AFTV at the time. But I'm like, I hate the notion nowadays. I feel like football nowadays is just home to the glory hunters, which is why I think it's easier nowadays to try and push through a plan to make football into an American franchise and cut away all the rest of the clubs. I think it's easier nowadays. I think the Super League was a one-off where we all came together and we got rid of it.
Defended football.
But exactly. But that movement kind of slowly died away, and I feel like
there's still talks about the Super League, though, isn't there? Like, not in that format, but the new Champions League format is basically the European Super League. But
pretty much, yeah. And then, but to be fair, though, the people around the Super League are still talking about a new Super League.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to go.
But the difference,
when the Super League did, or not come into fruition, but when the talks were. Yeah. When the talks were in deep talks, I did mention to a few mates that it won't get shut down straight away. They must have planned this for 4, 5, 6 years.
They must have known it was going to go Tim Pot.
They planned this when they stepped into owning the football clubs in the first place. Let's not put it down to bad here. But no, my problem is the Super League people are still talking about a new format which will include an open league where you can still get relegated even if you are a founding club. But the problem is they'll put all these things in place, they'll still get richer, but the glory hunter fans that dominate social media, which seems to be the number one focus of football at the minute, are going to be like, yep, I'm in for that. If it's an open league.
You know what it's going to be like? You know what? Aaron, Charlie and people watching, you know what it's going to be like? If we did have a European Super League and they had Barcelona versus Manchester City in a Super League game, it'll be all over social media. Singapore, Dubai, China, India. It will.
I know exactly what's going to happen. They're going to have matches in their own countries, but they're going to have it like the NBA, where they're going to have that one-off international game where they put Barcelona.
Well, they've already done it. They've already done something like that. They've done the
a bit like pre-season. It's a bit like having a pre-season friendly in Dubai or Singapore.
Permanent pre-season.
There was one league. I think it was the Copa del Rey or the Spanish Super Cup, and they had a game in Singapore.
Jesus.
Like, it was Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid, I believe, and they played the semi-finals in Spain, the 2 semi-finals, and then the final was in Singapore or Dubai or wherever it was. And do you remember, like 3 years ago, they said they were going to trial the final Premier League game of the season out in Dubai, game 39 or something. It's just money, man. It's literally money.
It's just cash grabs, because it's like, it's all well and good these clubs making more money, but then it's like, you got to think, what about the fans who sit at home at council houses and tries to watch their team, but they just can't do it because they just can't afford it?
We see the National League, the Vanarama National League, launching their streaming service this winter as well. That's been a bit of a talking point. And also, I think just a couple of days ago, they've pretty much announced that advanced talks are underway for the 2023-2024 season to be the first season to have a 3-up, 3-down from League Two to the National League.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So from the looks of it, from what we're hearing from talks, is that we will have a third relegation place in League Two in time for next season.
Because do you know what pisses me off so much, right? In the National League, you could have a team, and we've seen it in the last few years, you could have a team like Boreham Wood, Solihull Moors, somehow finish second, but a team in 7th could get promotion ahead of them. I know you could say, well, in League Two that could happen, but in League Two there are 3 automatic, or even League One Championship, there's 2 automatic. You shouldn't have to just win the league to get promotion. It should be a runner thing.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I've got a gut feeling with this. It's just the first step in joining the Vanarama National League up with the EFL to become the EFL League 3. I just got a gut feeling about it.
I would have loved that. I don't know what you guys would think.
So basically in a few years' time, we could have it where you've got the Premier League, you've got the Championship, League 1, League 2, and then the new League 3. And then after League 3, it's just the regional leagues, North and South, and then further down than that.
Yeah, what I loved a few years ago, I think they said it during lockdown, because I remember doing a video on it, and it was probably a fantasy thing, but it said, imagine Premier League, Championship, and then League 1, League 2 would be regionalised. So it would be half a League 1 or half a League 1 Northern teams and League 2 Northern teams in that league, and then just to make, because we didn't know what we were going to come out of COVID, it would have just made cost of travel and cost of going to games a lot more. We didn't know what state the financial economic situation would have been out of COVID, and I think that.
I don't like the idea though of having League 1 and League 2 regionalised, because then it just means the Premier League and Championship is where you can really go out and play these teams away from your area, and it's like, oh well, League 1 and League 2 don't matter, so we'll just make them regionalised like non-leagues. It's like you don't really care about League 1 and 2, do you?
Because it sort of ruins the thrill of going to the football. You go, and every football fan in the world likes going to away days. So if you can only play people 20 minutes down the road, what's the point?
Exactly. I would rather travel and go and play the likes of Gillingham. I'd rather go and
Newport,
likes of Newport, Tranmere. I don't want to be just playing Harrogate and Bradford and the Manchester teams every week. I want to go out and play these London teams, these Welsh teams.
Don't talk about Welsh teams. It's Welsh team. We don't want to talk about Welsh team that may get promoted.
I'm talking about teams. So if we ever get like a Cardiff in a cup match or something.
Yeah, we don't talk about Wrexham. We don't talk.
the team that's playing the National League right now.
Yeah, oh man, no. I'm having nightmares about that every night about them promotion. No, sorry, I can't.
Evening, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney.
It's not Rob McElhaney.
Hello to Doncaster on Tour. Merry Christmas, Chal. Thank you very much, Alex. But we're probably going to end it there. Like I said, this is the first ever Chall-Mas Eve. We are going to do more of these every year. So there's going to be an annual one. The annual Chall-Mas starts right now, and yeah, we will probably see you guys in the next one soon. Thank you to Mike. Thank you to Charlie. Thank you to Dylan as well. Thanks to all your comments. Like I said, the year on the channel in 2023 is going to be much greater. I'm so looking forward to next year already. It's going to be just the most fun. I said it at the start of the video. I'll say it again. We've put months and months of work into 2023 and the kind of videos we're going to be launching on the channel. So I really do hope you guys love the videos, love what's coming on the channel. Stay safe, everybody. Take care and have a Merry Christmas.
Up the Rovers.